Greetings, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Welcome back to my Valheim series, this being episode 9 of my second season. Now, first up, you're going to notice I sound a bit different today. Hooray for coming down with the flu. So, yeah. Hopefully, I should still be able to articulate everything that's going on in this episode. We're resuming our quest to establish exactly how much iron is enough. Now, as you can see in that swamp area, I've already exhausted the 4 crypts at the bottom end. So I've just hopped in the big boat, brought a spare portal, and we've just sailed up to the other end of that swamp where there is 3 crypts, and here we are. Now, I'd already done a bit of exploring up here to, uncover the map a while back, but it's so long ago that quite a lot of what I'd killed while I was up here has had plenty of time to respawn. So, no shortage of critters here to try and get rid of. Now that we've done that, we're going to start heading towards the first of the 3 crypts. Alright, as we enter the first of the crypts, I'll just let you know there's going to be a lot of jumping around in this one. This is a culmination of, I think, about 2 hours worth of recorded footage. It took a long time to get around up here because I was just constantly killing stuff, but none of it was, remarkable in any way, so I just figured I'd just skip it. There's only so many skeletons exploding and, vanilla draggers and all that other stuff. 1 or 2 at a time. They do slow you down, but they die very easily and, not really worth including in an episode these days. I do, however, include all of the content from inside the crypts. And there's actually another question we're going to be answering today, which is just how stingy can a crypt get? Stay tuned and you will get an answer to that. So, how well cooked do you like your elite dragoons? Do you like them rare? You know, medium rare, well done, burnt to a crisp? Leave a comment down below. Well, this crypt was actually pretty good. We ended up with, what, about 67 iron there. That's not a bad run. So we're just going to do our little relay trick here to get it all back to the boat. That is, of course, after I spend an ice age, you know, trying to figure out how to put one more weight worth of stuff in my inventory. When you have a look at how much iron is in the cargo hold here in a moment, I am actually at this stage thinking that we might be getting very close to having enough iron, but you know, the completionist in me wants to clear out these other crypts anyway. So sure enough, once we finish this relay run, we're going to start on the next crypt. One of the ultra fantastic aspects of, you know, having the flu is your brain's ability to just completely go blank. Well, I think we may have a contender for a fairly stingy crypt, given we only got, you know, what, 47 iron, but 47's not too bad. Granted, it is at the low end of what you tend to get out of a crypt, but, you know, it still is a very useful amount of iron. Problem is, having 47 iron and a couple of odds and sods doesn't really leave you enough left to be bothered doing it in 2 trips, so I just thought I'll do my little lug it all in one go, but I'd made multiple runs through the swamp at this stage, so there wasn't anything left that was going to cause me any grief. So we've now completed 2 out of the 3. We are now heading on to the 3rd crypt. Let's see what we have in store for us in that one. Alright, well, we're already off to not a great start. The straight ahead wing is just straight into a dead end, so there's nothing that way. We didn't hear any activity from any critters. The left-hand wing, other than giving us a bit of a swim, also ends in a dead end. So we only have 1 wing to explore. Well, we've had a couple of crypts like that in this swamp, and that 1 wing has managed to, you know, have quite a lot of, you know, stuff and scrap iron and all the other good things. I have a funny feeling this one probably isn't. Although, this is what you call a treasure room. And, no chest there. There's 1 chest there and it doesn't have any iron in it. And there's a couple of, you know, amber pearls on the ground or on the little shelf thing over in one of the other spots. And we've got a bit of amber. Yeah, that's a pretty stingy treasure room. And oh wait, that's a dead end. So, other than the little tiny bit of scrap iron that we dug out of that bit of sludge that we had to dig through to get to the treasure room, this crypt actually has none in it. That is right, we got the sum total of 3 scrap iron from that crypt. I am going to crown this crypt the world's most useless crypt. Leave a comment down below if you've gone through an Iron Age and you've successfully found a crypt that had even less in it than that one. Now, there is a little bit of the end of that bit of swamp there in the corner that I thought may have. It had a lot of trees in it, so I couldn't see through it very well. I thought it might have had a crypt in it as well, but it didn't. So those 3 crypts were all we had. You can see that the hold of the boat is full. We've gone back to base to restock, get a rested buff. And we are now going to go back and get our boat now that we've done what we set out to do, which was to clear all of the crypts in that bit of swamp. We already have a portal on this island. I left the structure down the other end that I'd made. I left the portal in that one, so given there's already a portal here, I'm going to take this one with me for any future explorations that I do. Now that we've picked that up, we're free to set sail, and there's only one destination that we have in mind right now. We are taking all of this delicious iron back to base and take the lengthy time to smelt it all. The return journey was reasonably smooth. We may have, seen an old friend or two along the way, but because it was such a pretty journey, I decided to leave some of it in for you. Yes, this is one of those occasions where you just want to scream at Valheim. Yeah, the footage is sped up 4 times normal speed. Because we are almost completely dead into the wind there, yeah, the going is pretty slow. Well, about sodding time, we finally get ourselves some wind, and we are cracking it along now. Taking careful note in this clear weather of, where the plains and mountains are and what they look like. Keeping an eye out for villages in the plains, that sort of thing, which may become useful later in the game series. We're also keeping a weather eye out for our beloved serpent friends, because, yeah, we're carrying rather a lot in the boat, and accidentally getting sunk in the middle of the ocean would, of course, result in the total loss of said cargo. Yeah, not in a big hurry for that to happen at this particular moment. In my general experience, in the middle of the day in fine weather, that's probably about the lowest chance that you generally see a serpent. It's not to say you'll never see one, but anytime I've deliberately gone looking for them and sailed through an area and it was fine weather, particularly during the day, but then to come back to exactly the same place, at night or in bad weather, and then have a serpent there, I think there might be a limiter in the game that prevents them showing up during the day in a lot of cases. So, look, experiences will vary on that one, but sailing, as always, in fine weather is usually a good idea. island here is a classic example of that. I mean, we are really close to home here. We have sailed this stretch multiple times, and this is the first time I've come across a serpent here, so never assume you're not going to run into one. Now, the lack of wind here is a bit annoying, but what I'm aiming to do here is to try and lure the serpent into shallow water. The problem, of course, at this time is I don't have the harpoon on me, so I'm just I'm working on a little theory here that while I stay in the boat, he's going to remain interested in me, and if I can try and get him into the shallow water and then kill him there, he's more likely to hang around and let me do that. And as it turned out, that is actually exactly what happened. The boat did take a bit of damage, but nothing too catastrophic. And killing this serpent in the shallow water enabled me to get more of the scales, and that then let me build the serpent scale shield and upgrade it. And I've got to say, that is a fantastic idea. If you've got the opportunity to make one and upgrade the serpent shield, I encourage you to do it. It is a really good shield. Alright, well, with that little bit of adventure dealt with, and our serpent friend sent off to the next world, we can now safely get underway and return to our home port. As you can see, we're actually not that far away. Now, I did mark the serpent on the map there because they do respawn eventually. So later, if I'm hunting around for serpents for meat or whatever, it'll remind me on where I'd seen them and or killed them previously, so I can just go back to those spots first. Alright, as I delicately park our beautiful longship, and we take a quick look at our spoils of adventure, we can go and dream about all of the amazing things that we can create with all of this iron in the future. As I set about unloading the boat and restocking for future adventures, we're going to bring this episode to a close. If you want to see more of these in the future, make sure you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And give that notification bell a bit of a click as well, that way you'll get notified of any future releases. In the meantime, my name is Rudimentary Rob. Thank you very much for watching, and have yourself a fantastic day.